Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you have not been here before, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to be doing another logo design process video today to show you how I design a logo all the way from very initial brainstorming phase until the final files are delivered to my client. So I wanted to take you guys with me as I brainstorm, do some sketching on my iPad, and getting feedback from my client. I will probably separate these videos into two just so it's not extremely long, and because I'm not quite at the phase of final files delivery. So today's going to talk a little bit about how I brainstorm, get my inspiration, how I draw on the iPad, and then the next video will be packaging up the entire logo design and sending it to my client. So I'm very excited. My last video like this had quite a few questions, so I really hope this helps, and I hope it kind of gives you an idea of my workflow now. So let's hop right into the video. I started by getting inspiration on Pinterest, but my number one tip is right after you get off the call with your client to talk about the details of the logo, just start sketching out every idea that first initially came to mind. That's what I did, and I actually liked a couple of the sketches, so I brought them over to my iPad and used the Procreate app to bring some of those sketches to life and also to trace a couple of the graphics and images that she told me that she's interested in seeing. So right now I'm sketching out a tactical person climbing up a rope. That's what it looks like there, and those sketches I'm now going to go onto Illustrator and make those come to life. So I just open up a letter-sized paper and get to designing. So I'm going to let the video run and chime in here when I think it's something important to share. So I don't think I mentioned, but this brand is called Tactical AF. It is going to be based around the tactical military style realm. So that is what this brand is all about. That's why I wanted to share it. It's something I've never done before. Very different for me. But I know that I want the brand to be very strong looking, gender neutral, and overall just kind of have a fun, aggressive, almost, I don't want to say frat, but fraternity style look to it, because it's going to be a subscription-based business and they're going to have these on shirts, apparel, all that kind of stuff. So that is visually kind of what I'm going for, is something that you could see on a t-shirt, and that's gender neutral pretty much. So you'll see me find fonts that really portray that strong looking vibe, and I go on Creative Market and DaFont to find those different styles. So for this specific logo, I wanted to do that kind of I don't know the words for these tactical things, but when you look into a gun and you see that aim kind of thing, so that's what I'm working on right here, is I'm designing that circle aim bullseye kind of thing. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, and I'm not expressing it right, but that is what I am designing right here on this concept. Okay, now this was something I sketched that on paper looked really cool, but wasn't really doing what I wanted it to do, and it was just looking confusing and a little messy, but this is what I mean. You just need to go for it. Don't think about it too much. Just see what it looks like visually and then decide. Don't get rid of an idea right away without trying it. So it's always good to try different things. But yeah, I ended up trashing this one after I was testing it out. Just wasn't really working. So I wanted to show you guys that not every concept I come up with makes the final cut, in my opinion, but it's always fun to see what you sketched out on Illustrator. So I just decided to start designing something else, not letting myself overthink it too much and just going for it.
Think about me one more time before you go. Someday you'll know. Someday you'll know. Already know what I'm going to say. I've been feeling this way for far too long. And now you're gone. Took me away from all of my fears. Kept me away from all of my tears. Now you're gone. And now I'm lost. Finally, I think I can see clearly now. I'm in love. Think about me one more time before you go. I'm in love. Took me away from all of my fears. I'm in love. Kept me away from all.
Alright, the client had sent me this concept that she wanted to see, where she wanted the tactical guy climbing up the rope, hanging from the F. I wanted to see what it looked like on the A, so that's what I'm designing here. I'm designing the concept that my client wanted to see, but I actually ended up loving this concept. You'll see as it comes to life, it just really kind of fits that brand and the style that I wanted to go for and that she was thinking about as well. So I was really happy with this style. This is actually a completely different day. That other day I was designing, I just kind of hit a creative block, so I came back to it, and these are what came from it. So I'm really happy with these concepts. That is actually one of the sketches I made on my iPad. I ended up filling it in on Photoshop and bringing it into my Illustrator. I will show you guys that on the next video clip in a second, but it's cool to see some drawings working out on a logo, because sometimes not all drawings work out as well. But I was, like I said, really loving this concept.
And now I'm lost. Finally, I think I can see clearly now. I'm in love.
Okay, so you'll see here, that's the Procreate drawing. I'm trying to fill in the coloring, so you can do that under effects, I believe it is, and then just fill layer, and then you can, or you could bring it into Illustrator like I'm doing and do an image trace of it and then fill it in that way. There's so many ways you can go about it, but yeah, I'm trying the image trace one now, but typically I would use Photoshop and do the fill layer effect. did different concepts on different days because each day I kind of had different ideas. So these are the last concepts I was creating before I packaged them up and send it to her. I just wanted to give her an idea of something completely different than what we talked about and what she mentioned she wants to see, just to kind of gauge where she's at visually with things. So I wanted to put this together for her, give her lots of different options. And so now I'm packaging up all the mock-ups. You'll see here I'm trying to take my favorite concepts, mock them up so she can really visually see what I was going for. And so after I mock them all up, I will create a PDF and basically create an entire package for her to check them all out. And I always put the mock-ups at the very front of the PDF packet, so that's the first thing she sees when I send over the concepts. And because this was going to be on a t-shirt, I grabbed a t-shirt mock-up, and this one was great because you can change the t-shirt color. So always look for mock-ups that are kind of customizable to really portray what you are working on. So on Adobe Acrobat, I combine the files, create the package, like I said, and I always title this version 1 because I want to keep track of the revisions we do, just because past 3 or 4 revisions I do charge hourly, and just always give yourself that boundary because you don't want to end up doing millions of revisions and not getting paid properly. So that's why I always title it V1, and it's easy for me to reference. Also, if she's like, oh, in the very first concepts, and then you can just go back to your V1 file. So that is why I do it. It's such a simple step, but it really does save you and help. So I was customizing the letterhead for the package to make it fit her branding, and those are the first concepts. So I will show you the final packet in just a second. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them. And yes, I hope that this was helpful to you. And I cannot wait to make some more of these. I have quite a few logo designs in the queue, so I'll be making more videos to show you how I design from start to finish. And be sure to stay tuned for part 2 of this video. If you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate it so much if you gave it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.